Hi and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Far Far West, a indie 4-player co-op shooter that has drawn a lot of attention recently and a game that I have personally played the playtest of and the demos. I am absolutely in love with this game, both for its cute style but also the fact that it's a genuinely competent shooter with a fun progression system and some cool challenges and mysteries to be solved within it. Today we're going to be talking about it, and I hope you're ready. To answer why Far Far West is so good, we have to talk about what Far Far West is. And Far Far West is a co-op shooter. It can be played up to 4 players and isn't completely procedurally generated. You have your normal hub area and whatnot, and then the maps themselves have changing layouts, meaning that while mostly the entire map stays the same, the different objectives get sort of turned around so they aren't exactly the same every time. However, all the points of interest, which are very important in Far Far West, do stay the same. The reason why they're important is that every major area, or rather every biome, has a different secret quest. That quest also stays the same. As an example of a secret quest, you in one area have to find 4 medallions to unlock a door. The game nowhere tells you that, but if you find them and unlock the door, you get into a hidden gold mine with an incredibly fast pickaxe. And for completing that quest, you get a new perk that you can put on your gun next time you're in the hub area. There are one of these, so far as I've played, for every area of the game. It is really fun to do actually, and kind of reminds me of doing exotic quests and all of these sort of hidden stuff in games like Destiny. It's really fun. However, on the other side of Far Far West, the things that you will actually be doing tend to be fairly simple but fun things. There are memory games, and of course there's a little bit of math in there where you have to do some quick maths to launch some certain missiles and so on. All meanwhile you are being overrun with a horde of skeletons with different weaponry, including Gatling guns, cowboys, rocket launcher, big shield men, some of them are riding bisons, and a grim reaper. After you've completed all of their objectives, then you have to fight a big boss. The big boss actually is super fucking fun. They have different mechanics depending on the boss, obviously, but they also change depending on the difficulty you're playing on. That means that certain bosses won't have certain attacks depending on the difficulty. Whereas the harder you go, the more attack patterns, the more different stuff that they do, but the higher the reward yield also is. But why would you ever bother doing these missions, you ask me? Well, simply to get gold, souls, and fragments. Gold is the currency that is used to upgrade your character's stats. These include things like health, movement speed, walking speed, jump height, so on and so forth. And they're also used to upgrade your weapon stats. You know, the different attacks, the attack speed, whether or not you have lifesteal on hit, and so on. Souls are used to buy jokers. Jokers are a form of perk that you can put on either your hero or your guns to change the way that they play. And they can go from being incredibly useful, like there are some for your hero that makes your hero grow taller and gives him more HP and gives him a faster move speed and jump height, but you're taller, so there are certain things that you just can't go through doing your mission. And there are some that makes them smaller, where you gain extra movement speed. There's also one that allows you, for every time you kill an enemy, to take 2 of their HP, like you gain 2 HP every time you kill any enemy with any weapon or ability, but you have 30% less HP. There are also some for your weapons that are incredibly useful. These can switch again from being really good, like the one that makes your weapon's bullets explode on the last 2 hits, or one that literally just makes it so you do more damage on crit hits, to some that are less useful, like the one that states that if you hit a critical shot, there's a 50% chance that you spawn confetti, or spawn a piggy after you kill an enemy. Again, it goes from being incredibly good to incredibly bad real fast. And on top of that, there is the fragments. So what are the fragments? The fragments is essentially how you unlock new weapons. You need 500 gold to buy the weapon, but you need 6 fragments of that weapon to be able to buy it. And the weapons can range from being a minigun to a shotgun, sniper rifle, assault rifle, bow, shurikens that are called sheriff stars, and so on. It's pretty fun. The way you earn all of these are just within playing the game. Fragments can be earned by killing a loot goblin that is roaming the map, or just completing the mission. And souls are earned through killing enemies and just sometimes randomly by completing certain objectives. And on top of that, the gold is just found throughout the map as well. You can mine it, but you will also get some from completing mission and so on. It is just fairly fun, honestly. Nothing there. And on top of all of these currencies, you also have your normal XP systems where your hero and individual weapons and spells can level up, and the hero's level can reach upwards of 100, and then you can prestige them. I have not gotten that far yet at all, but it is pretty fun that you can do it, and it's one of those things that I think is worth chasing, as you will get different cosmetics for doing so. The spell system is also really fucking cool. You see, you have your different abilities or spells, and just like with your weapons, before each mission you can equip new spells. As they rank up, you'll unlock different spells within each categories, which are things like fire, lightning, cacti, or acid. And while it's likely that you will find a combination of spells that you like more than others, it is cool to have the choice, and there's a lot of. However, where the spell system, in my opinion, really shines is in the way you can combine different spells. You see, if you throw an acid spell on the ground and you then shoot it with fire or apply a fire spell to it, you can, matter of fact, get a combined effect of them. And one of the coolest things is when you unlock the Geyser ability and the Hellfire ability, both from the acid and fire tree, and you then throw them both on the same spot on the ground, and you create a big fire tornado. It's really fucking cool, and I love things like this where different interactions between different elements can result in whole different playstyles being unlocked. It's just super fucking cool, and I love it. And for those of you who are wondering what the cacti spells are, well, they are your summons. You start out with a simple mine, and you end up with a golem. Currently, I am having what is essentially an automated turret that just shoots enemies for me. It's wonderful. Love it. I'm personally playing mostly single player, so that helps quite a lot. I really enjoy playing with that because it's just something I can step down on any point or whatever, and then I walk away from it, and it does a decent enough amount of damage to the point where it actually takes out a few enemies for me. And while Far Far West does have the word West in its name, it is within the category of Western but more, which is the lovely name I've given to just the sheer amount of games that have come out where it's in the Wild West, but it's with vampires, or if it's monster, or maybe it's Eldritch Horror, or as is the case in this game, it's with robots and skeletons. It's really fucking cool, and I love that sort of setting. However, what I really think sort of makes me fall in love with the game is the enemy design and the character design in general. They're all very cute, very well designed characters, and I genuinely really like the silly vibe that the game has. Even the abilities and the spells themselves. You can get a minigun that has wooden parts and so on. It just looks so goofy. And then you unlock abilities like, oh, you kill an enemy and there's a 5% chance of them turning into a pig. It's like, yeah, you know what, that's just kind of silly. There's no reason for that to exist. It doesn't really add anything, but it's funny and it sort of grounds the world in this silly tone. And I really appreciate it. And it goes towards even just the basic characters' names. There's a character literally called Willy Billy. It's fun. I love it. It's just so goofy. And on top of all of that, you have the different skins and stuff you can earn. I really enjoy that. And while I can't talk a lot about the co-op experience, when they say it's a chaotic shooter, they really do mean chaotic. You see, Far Far West is a game that will throw a lot of enemies at you when you enter the higher levels. You might start out on easy difficulty and think, that's not that bad, but once you reach hard, which is where I'm at, which for the record isn't that far into the game as there is very hard and nightmare after that, I'm like at a good middle point. Just the sheer amount of shit on the screen and the amount of enemies just gets a little overwhelming, at least in the single player version. I would imagine that even though it scales with difficulty and whatnot, it's a little bit more manageable with 4 players running around helping each other with the objectives. But it is probably still gonna be extremely chaotic. I also really appreciate the fact that the different difficulties isn't just a bump in health. It isn't just, oh, your enemies do more damage. It is entirely new enemy types. It is entirely new boss move sets and so on. I really enjoy that sort of thing, and it's just one of those small changes a game can have that completely changes how I interact with it. I think it's super fun, and I really like that. And this sort of silly design goes all the way to the enemy sound effects. The yeah and stuff that you hear when they're shooting you. It's just really cute and fun. Or the yeah that the Gatling guy does with his gun. I fucking love it. It's so fucking adorable. And overall, that's really just my takeaway with Far Far West. I genuinely really enjoyed this, way more than I thought I would, after having played the playtests. Initially, I thought it was gonna be another co-op shooter, but as has been clear both by that and the reception to the game, it is much more than that. It's so much fun to play through. And while there are some things that I hope that they change, like I hope that there is a little bit of tuning when you're playing single player mainly, partially just because of the amount of like enemies on the screen, it can be a little overwhelming. And I imagine it's gonna get a lot worse once I get up to very hard nightmare difficulties. It's still really fun. And that's sort of just where it's at. I love when a game just comes out, it does one thing and it does it really well. And Far Far West wants to be a co-op shooter, and it is the best co-op shooter that you can imagine. It's fun. And even though it has all of these silly elements, it also manages to have really cool and in-depth build crafting, a surprisingly good feeling shooting system, and some cool unlockables along the way. It's just a really fucking cool game. And all I can say is that I genuinely highly recommend trying this out. And if you don't believe me, you can believe the over 6,000 other people who have picked this up. And you can also believe the positive reviews on Steam. People like Far Far West, and I think it's fairly understandable why. It's a game that comes out, says that it's gonna do a thing, and then does the thing incredibly well. You get exactly what you're looking at. Nobody can sort of mistake this for anything it isn't, and I think that's really fucking cool. And that's also about it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a wonderful day, or as for me, a weekend, but in your case it's gonna be Monday, so I hope you're having a wonderful Monday so far. And I hope you have a wonderful continued day or night or midday wherever you are. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.